Okay, next we're going to hit, folks, I'm going to close the ad news from Gauntlet down and look at the Gauntlet real quick. What we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and talk about the business and how it pertains to what we're doing in some of the simpler journalistic pieces that go into it. Okay? So, first of all, let me just introduce a couple things about the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet currently is building a media empire, okay? So there are 5 tenets to that. There are the Gauntlet blog here. Eventually we're going to come out with a quarterly print version of this. That's probably the last thing we're going to do. That's 2. 3, we have a television station that we're working on building full programming on. Guys on the team are Sherry Bird by the Pen, Sherry Burke is her official name, but don't tell anyone because she's in the witness protection program. Anyway, Sherry's going to be developing some of our programming there, and also we'll do things like interviews. We'll be hosted on one of 3 or all 3 of our video sites. We have our own YouTube site that we developed that has 1/1000th of the videos that YouTube has, and then we have YouTube, and then we're on Vimeo, and then we're also on a Roku television station, which we're going to design exactly like a television station with specific programming for different types of metal shows. And then after the test pattern at night, it's going to go over to metal videos till crack it down the next day. We also have a radio station, and Nick Statuto will be manning and sort of in charge of, but obviously he can't do all the drive time and all that stuff, so we will have other DJs involved in that. If you want to hear some of the talent that we've got, watch the let's see here if I can see. Oh, where would I find that? Okay, so we'll go for let's go for Coma Cluster Boyd. Now this is a writer of ours who was a very accomplished writer. Her name is Lindsay O'Connor. She's going on stage as Lindsay Vox of Coma Cluster Void, and so we had an interview with her. I put a little band review up here, and then here's the interview. Now if you listen.
Welcome to the Gauntlet Interviews. Tonight's feature, beloved by headbangers around the world, Coma Cluster Void, represented by one of the 3 lead singers, Lindsay Vox.
Good evening, metal gods and goddesses. Of course, there's my pitiful voice right after listening to that guy with fantastic delivery of broadcast quality vocals of the old style. Plus we have all kinds of voiceover people. These are all contractors, but we've got a list of talent that is extensive. So what we're seeing right now, folks, is like, when are we going to have a TV station? When can I have my TV show? When can I get on the radio? Take your time. Everyone's going to have equal opportunity to do whatever creative thing they can possibly think of on this media platform, I guess we'll call it. And the core thing that glues it all together, which you won't understand right now and you don't need to, is something called C-Note. This is a cryptocurrency that is designed to raise the amount of money we pay contractors, hopefully to a level where they will say to themselves, that's you, me, and everyone else, I can't believe I'm making this much money for this. But this is a dream, and I am a dreamer. I always have been, I always will be. My idea is to dream bigger than possible and then teach people how to get there, hopefully, and that's what I'm after. So, to the extent that you have faith in what I can do, please, dream with me. And if I fail, I'm going to move to Canada. Anyway, okay. So here's what you should do first: getting to know the business. Okay, so there are several different types of content. The most simple and easiest possible type of content is called the press release. I'll show you that in just a minute. What a press release is a publicist who's hired by bands to get them publicity, not advertising, just publicity, will go ahead and embark on a campaign to get publicity, and that campaign mounts to bugging, not bugging, but constantly coming after media outlets, of which we are one, the Gauntlet, and they will say, can you, for immediate release. It's just a press release. Generally speaking, the press release is a verbatim copy of what you see in the press release. Would be verbatim copied right here into the actual article. So you'd say, I'll show you that in the next one. Okay, so the business contains bands. With the bands, tour managers. With the venues, then we have a list of every venue you can conceive of in the entire world, which is why our sixth piece is one of two mobile apps, like you'd see on iPhone or Android or others. And these apps have a location services program done in Google AMP that will tell you as you're walking, let's say you're walking down the Sunset Strip and it says, you get in front of the Whiskey a Go-Go and it says, this is where Jim Morrison vomited the first time he played here. Jim Morrison from The Doors, for those of you who are younger. And The Doors, if you don't know who they are, go look them up right now. You must know who they are to work here. But I think all of you do. And then, as a matter of fact, yeah, you can see Jim back there, can't you? There he is. Jimmy. And right next to Jim is Iron Maiden. Okay, so that's the idea of this new app that'll come out. So now you guys know kind of the outline plan. I'm gonna put this into maybe a project management document, which is goes against my religion, but I will. Since I escaped corporate America, I have no desire to do that anymore. Anyway, so we go to tour dates. Okay, we are so far behind on tour dates, but every time you enter a tour date, here's what happens. Okay, if someone visits the Cattle Decapitation Tour, I can't pull that up for some reason. Let me see if I can through the text. No, okay, because the reason this can't be pulled up is it's gone and done. But if you look at where my hand here is, the digital hand, all these dates amount to 30 dates in their tour, and they're headlining, okay? This is old and it's past, but every time someone would look at this post, they're gonna push 30 visits to this. So you can see the return from a tour is greater than a lot of the other things, if that makes sense. That's the one thing I want to take from that. Try not to click on these, especially because you gamble all your money away. And secondly, because if we click on our own ads, well, let's see, this one is just a public service. You can click on that all you want, but if you click on your own ads, eventually they'll ban you because it's cheating, and that makes sense to everyone, I'm sure. Now, reviews is not. The last review is at Bogarts in Cincinnati for Testament, and then we get kind of long in the tooth for going back to some of our reviews. What we need to do is, like Immortal still has Bath in it. That's over with. They just released a new album with no Bath, and it, quite frankly, sounds like the new singer just fell right into place. It almost makes poor Bath not look like he was that important. But at any rate, we need to get more of our interviews here. The way to do that is not that we're not doing a lot of interviews, it's that we're not putting interview in that first tag. Oh, look, Ghost. That's all the way back at 13. Good God, time flies. Okay, so that's that. And I'm talking really fast right now, and that's because just trying to get, save as much time as I can with you guys. Okay, so we've looked around this. Just explore. If you're brand new to web production or content management, just explore this. I didn't when I started. I just dove right in and figured it out. But, there's like an audio section where we have put all kinds of, this is going to be a extremely fast growing section, I hope, because what we want to do is we're eventually going to be selling, and that is the 7th tenant, and that is we are going to have the largest merchandising catalog of any entity in the continental United States. It's hard for me to say that for Europe because they're just blasting so far ahead of us in music right now. They still buy CDs over there, but yet they still have, you know, especially the Nordics. They're pumping out a band every 5 seconds up there, and then branching into all the genres now. They used to be the birthplace of black metal, a genre that is still a big favorite of mine, especially symphonic black metal. And there's a band called Dimmu Borgir, which some people would make fun of if you liked them because they're symphonic black metal, but who doesn't like Demon Burger? That's what the slang is for them. Okay, so then there's videos. Okay, these are not all getting posted in here. So we got like this Weed Eater video. This is our #1 most viewed video. And here's Shit Kicker from Hogan's Goat. And they were very much a, what's happening? The video's gone. It is. Fix that. It's gone for a reason. I know what the reason is, but I know what's going on here. It's Shit Kicker. Okay, so we'll go to Hogan's Goat. Showing you how to get around in this place a little bit. Exclusive world premiere video. I did the world premiere for Shit Kicker, I believe. Yes, we knew Shit Kicker would be the best representation of our stuff. Okay, so here's Shit Kicker right here, and these guys are terrific. They've been great friends to the Gauntlet, and they have opened up a whole new realm of metal. And if you just turn it up a little bit, so my speakers have to warm up for the play. So what you notice about this video is they are a small band, very small, micro small. But look, they were able to do things like put Hogan's Goat perfectly rendered with perspective on the side of a mountain, and then Shit Kicker. And this is a real place where they live, this band. But they're sort of they call themselves gravel-soaked metal. Whiskey gravel-soaked metal, they call themselves. Different than the average metal band. Yeah, so I still love that music, and I got involved with booking tours for these guys and everything. The point here is, though, there's a new movement, and if you look at Shit Kicker, back on that list, I'm going to show you something that really made a big breakthrough for the Gauntlet in recent times. Of course, it was #1 back up to 2011 of all Hogan's Goat. You'll find out what that meaning is. So I had an interview with these guys. Okay, and then I came out with this review, which says Hogan's Goat self-titled debut is a masterpiece. Twice I've used that in a review, in probably, I would say, over 150 reviews that I've done. And I called everybody that reviewed these guys and asked them what they thought. I met them all in the interviews, and then I went with them on tour a little bit just to get a feel for this band, because I knew there was something about these guys that was metal, but yet taking us in a different direction. So I did a track-by-track synopsis. We have to do this every once in a while. These track-by-track synopsises, they appeal to the extreme fan as well as the band. Now, why would you want to appeal to the band or to the publicist? And the answer to that question is, if you can appeal to the band but the fans miss it, then we have premier rights with this band. We have the ability to first find out news and things like that. And trust me, it's worth every penny of it. So there's Shit Kicker, Annie Off the Rails, Over the Palisade, etc., etc. And you can see that they kind of Judas Priest coloration with a goat. At any rate, you all need to write at some point a really in-depth review, because what happened with this review is the publicist got on the phone with me and he said, let me tell you something, Kenny, that review of Hogan's Goat is the best review I have ever read in 30 years of publicity. And from that point forward now, me and that publicist, I mean, I can call him at home at night at 1 in the morning and say, hey, what do you think of this? I mean, we have got a solid, tight relationship. And that's kind of what this whole thing is about. There's so many damn relationships. Jason, my partner out in Hollywood, not Hollywood anymore, he's out in Fontana, but he's in LA. Jason knows everyone in Los Angeles. I mean, there is not a band, rock star, promoter, he knows the president of the Live Nation, all this stuff, because when he was out there originally, he was the only independent press, the only press of any kind, the only music press of any kind on the internet. Because we're talking, dinosaur age internet here at this point. And what he ended up doing was building a huge loyalty amongst all the bands in the 90s, and was there when, for instance, Metallica signed their contract in Maria Ferrara's side room, and Maria was just a publicist back then, and things were starting to explode with thrash, and hair metal was starting to subside, and whatever. But my point here is that we've got a long way to go to get back to that. That's why we're trying to amp up everything in a big way and make it different than it is, so we can be first again. This logo has got to go. Trust me, I hate it myself. It's kind of like halfway between Old English and the unreadable black metal logo, or death metal logo, whichever one you want to take. But we've got a new one on the way, along with a batch of t-shirts and things like that. So, okay. Anyway, so look through all this stuff, man. Check it all out. You'll see some stuff is really dated. Read the Hogan's Goat, the one that got this guy's vote of confidence, and he sends all his publicity my way, like at least 24 hours, sometimes a lot longer before anyone else gets it. And it's hard to keep up with all that stuff, by the way. So sometimes I'm like, hey, buddy, pass this one down the line, because it's not going to be any good for you if I don't if I don't get this thing out before the advance time runs out. So there's that, okay? Then the next thing I'm going to show you real quick is what it looks like to see a publicity. Google has hijacked. Don't you love when Google hijacks your search engine? Okay, so let me go to this. Go to Gmail, and then I'll switch over to the Gauntlet. I've told everybody this, but I'll tell them again. That's my Halloween picture right there. The Halloween costume. Anyway, and I have said this before, but I ran out of corpse white, so I started using something known as spackling paste, and well, that was a risky thing, because I basically plastered my face the way you would a wall, and it got really hard and crusty and whatever. Okay, so now here's what we got. Look at this. This is the primary tab of thegauntlet.com. And out of here, I will dish off press releases to you folks. You guys can't get in here because this is also the private email of some other people on the board of directors, etc. And you just can't have all that stuff going around. So, okay. People are wondering, well, where's the Where is the social media badges that you can click and add to? We haven't even added that yet. Okay, that has not been added yet. Things are. It's hard when you're dealing with trying to bring up people that are going to write. Try to bring up an automated press release system, which will save us all a great deal of time and allow us to focus on the more higher paying types of content. Although you can make a lot of money with press releases too if you get fast. I mean, that's the highest paying thing there is if you're fast. At any rate, these are all press releases. So let's take Clawhammer, who's a public relations firm, and they have Verkulac. This sounds like a new band. Ireland's Verkulac has unleashed a brand new song off their upcoming debut full-length Mask. The song, Snake Among Man, is 4.5-minute display of primal and discordant black death metal. Okay, you can stream it here. I'll show you how to do all that crap. And if you can't do it, just say, hey, I couldn't get the streaming to work on the recent Verkulac press release I put up today. Your name, I'll know who you are by your sound of your voice, and the location, or what you couldn't get to work, and I'll fix it, and then I'll screenshot the fix so you guys can see how it works. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got? There are quick and dirty ways to do all this stuff, which I'm probably going to show you first. Pre-orders available, and this is the streaming. Okay, so that isn't weird. I wonder, they didn't put it on YouTube, it doesn't look like. So when you're putting the picture up for this, you want to download the one in here, because it's going to be too small. Stick all that on the side. That's a press release. Okay. Let's see. Here's a record label, independent record label. Nuclear Blast. Okay, so here's Nuclear Blast. This is a part of their iPool where they keep their advanced copies. This one is going to be releasing last year in October 2018, so it is not any longer pre-release, but it's from Kristen Torres at Nuclear Blast, and we have actually the username and password to get into there. They're very guarded about that because they believe they've had breaches before. At any rate, these guys sit on the same par probably with Metal Blade. If I've got any Metal Blade on here right now. Yeah, shit. Because I covered the Metal Blade 30th anniversary tour on location. So, where is Metal Blade? See, like Maria Ferraro is not Metal Blade. She is, she's a publicist. Freeman's a publicist. Earsplit is a publicity company. I don't see it anywhere, but, and in fact, I don't think they directly publish anything. I think it all comes through publicists. Let's see what happens at promo. Okay, no, that's not Metal Blade. Let's just take it as it is. Sometimes the publicists have a band that's on Metal Blade. At any rate, let it go for now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here before we leave, this is just a general overview of things. Don't think you have to know everything I said. You just have to know how to be effective and make it work. And I know everyone you talk to can figure that out. So, the music business, we'll close with this. Tom George. Hi Kenny, Adrenaline Mob founder, guitarist Mike Orlando has released the official video for Burn from Brazil. Can you help get the word out with the new DVD release? That's February 19th, getting a little long in the teeth. It's 8 days old, but we'll do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and pretend like I'm sending it to one of you guys, so I can see how that works. So I'm going to send it to my personal address. And if you ever want to send anything to the Gauntlets, just hit moshpit, M-O-S-H-P-I-T, at thegauntlet.com. But I'm going to go candy@gmail.com. Okay, there we go. And that should be in my personal inbox. And here's our partner, Jason Fisher, saying, "Hail Satan." He's full of shit, man. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. I'm laughing because, oh my God, he's got Lucian from the Satanic Temple on here. Okay, I'm not gonna do that right now. We'll do it later. So that might be very risque. And if you guys want to look at those things, you can. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so that concludes the brief metal music business. And so